Vanessa, thank you so much. Outline some of the messages that were delivered, really heartfelt for Tutu this morning. Tell us more.
Yes, a very warm good afternoon to you. And the church service, really a Thanksgiving service for Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, concluding a short while ago with a communion service, a Eucharist service that took place here. Let me just tell you that a fellow struggle cleric, Dr. Alan Busak, delivered the sermon today, and we really were speaking about the life and times of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, talking about, I think it was Psalm 37, whereby God, the footsteps of the righteous being ordained or ordered by God. And of course, when one looks back at the life story of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu, the word righteous does indeed come to mind. Let me just bring in here Father Michael Weeder, the Dean of the St Georges Cathedral. Father, very warm good afternoon to you. What a celebration of the life of an amazing man, an extraordinary man, a man who was the Archbishop here in Cape Town for a decade, a man who's loved by everybody across the world, just really bringing this message together for him today through this church service.
So, just repeat your question again.
So the message that the church, that the cathedral is bringing here today in honouring him on his 90th birthday, that essentially was the reason for bringing the arch here today, bringing those who love him together in this church service.
So the focus, as has been his practice for all the years of his priesthood, and it went over into his time as active service as bishop and archbishop, and then even when he was working with the TRC and then into real retirement, he continued to celebrate the Eucharist on a Friday, the early morning Eucharist at 7:15, and that continued maybe the year before lockdown. And then just the passage of time, they located to Hermanus, and so that became difficult. And always his birthday, when I became dean in 2011, his 80th birthday, Bono was there. And I remember that song that Bono was still singing. I still haven't found what I've been looking for, and it was almost very much a soundtrack of our own struggle for freedom, and that the Archbishop eventually would also raise and speak to in the way that Alan Busak referred to, how he admonished the ruling party at present. And so he has always remained consistently and always on point with his reading of where he believes God is calling us to and where God's people should be, in terms of civilities, in terms of all that makes for freedom in people's lives. But it was always underscored, and I think that is where what is particularly attractive of Archbishop is that the aspect of humility, in Afrikaans we say menselijkheid, that's never compromised. And so I remember asking him just a few weeks ago, you're heading now for your 90th birthday, is there anything that you feel that you still left in that? And he said very promptly, no, God has been good to me. And I said, is there anything you would have loved to have done better? He said, I wish I was more kind and I was less harsh towards people who disagreed with me, even if they were on the wrong side of facts of history. And I said, but that is so with the passage of time. I would want to imagine the older one gets, the more tolerant. He says, no, he doesn't believe that should only be a virtue of the passage of time, but it should be intrinsic to our humanity. So he's very averse to bullying, to people thinking that they are in the inner circle. And I remember when I spent a month as a shadow affair going around Bali, Europe, and then the Americas. His then PA, Lavinia Crawford Brown, briefed me by saying, you will meet people who will believe they should have direct access and easy access and commandeer his time because they believe that he is their special friend and they are very special to him. But she said, it's only Mama Leia really, that he is his best and special friend. And I found that. But it is his very innate ability to embrace people, even in so much as you might disagree with them. The kindness and the thing about civility, when it says, improve your argument, don't raise your voice. So there's a lot of of the gentleman that he has internalized within a very vibrant, introspective mystical Christianity, a mystical faith. You know, because one of the quotes that we pasted on our cathedral window is that, you know, don't be surprised who you might find in heaven, because God has got very low standards or something. You know? And I think all of us, when we arrive in a place like as we could imagine paradise to be, is that we've acquired a special status. And I know for myself, there'll be some people I'll be very disappointed if I see them entering the portals of heaven. But the Archbishop, by the nature of his the way that he accepts and embraces everybody, I'm sure he'll be questioning why this one and that one. He might even ask God, why isn't water or for Vut here? You know, because there is such a generosity of spirit.
Father Michael Weeder, thank you so much for talking to us and reflecting there a bit about Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Of course, a short while ago we spoke to Reverend Canon Tutu, the daughter of Archbishop Emeritus Tutu, and she was telling us just how grateful the family is for the outpouring of love that her father has received over the years. And even on this, his 90th birthday, talking about how blessed she is to still be able to celebrate both her parents. We know Malaya celebrates her birthday next week. Also speaking to us a short while ago after the service, we spoke to Mr. Trevor Mandel, for example, and he was reflecting on his time in the UDF when it was Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu who came to the rescue of those who were detained, of course, ensuring that they are then released from prison. So, of course, these are the anecdotes and these are the kinds of memories that have been shared here today by those who've walked a path with Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu over the years as the church service concluded. Family, of course, saying that they were then looking forward to spending quality time at home, and saying that if it were not COVID-19 times, possibly a much bigger celebration. But of course, the Arch, his wife and family members now spending the afternoon in quiet, in the peace and quiet of their home, following this Thanksgiving service here at St Georges Cathedral.
Thank you so much to Vanessa Poonah.